There's been a lot of people asking for an update on the Bugatti, and honestly, I guess now it's been about 3 months of amazing Bugatti ownership, and I could not be any happier to have my dream car and with what it's been like to really own and live with it. But in the last few weeks, there's been a lot going on, and so I thought I would make a video summarizing everything that's happening, so bring you up to speed. The coolest thing that's happened lately is how good the car looks. The team from Glossett was here. Bam Cunningham detailed every inch of this car, and honestly, it looks brand new. They spent 3 days, totally corrected all the paint, coated everything, polished it. Obviously, it's fully Glossett, ceramic coated, and I'll have a link to the latest offer from Glossett in the description to this video. But every time the team from Glossett does one of the cars, I just get shocked. It feels like I got an all-new car again. And honestly, the paint came back really, really well. There was a little bit of paint aftermarket on the front bumper, but overall, it was great. They got the film off the taillights, and this is also going to lead us to my favorite new development on the car. My license plate. So I always wanted the EB license plate long before I knew that there was a real chance that I was going to get a Bugatti, that it could fit so beautifully below the Ettore Bugatti logo. But for EB Ettore Bugatti and EB Ed Bolian, I typed EB into the VINwiki app, which returns the VIN. I got the VIN, I put that into Carfax. Carfax showed me where the car had been serviced. I called that shop, asked them who owned it. They probably shouldn't have told me, but they did. I got her name, I got her phone number, and I have been calling it for years. And she never answered. It was a landline, it seems like, but years and years went by. And then finally, when I bought the car, I'm like, I got to get serious about finding this EB plate. So I Googled her name, and unfortunately, she had passed away at a ripe old age of 80-something. I found out that she had my same birthday, October 13th. And so she was a few years before me, but she was passed, but the obituary gave me her daughter's name. And so I sent the daughter a message. I said, hey, so sorry for your loss. Awkward request here, but do y'all have any plans for the license plate? And she knew just where it was. And so I went to her house, picked it up, and now it lives on my Bugatti. I think it's the perfect plate. It's also cool that it's the older style. And so I love my special plates. Georgia makes it pretty easy, unless somebody already has it. And it had been on a 2001 Ford Taurus for 15 years. But now it's on a Bugatti, and I think it's there to stay. Over the last few weeks, there have been some incredible social media posts about my car from before I owned it. There was an Instagram post that got shared with me from somebody named Trippy Red, who I don't know who that is, but he got 1 million likes on a photo leaning against my car. Also, there's been a circulating Instagram reel or TikTok video of Floyd Mayweather driving it around very dramatically at night, and a more lighthearted video of Lil Uzi Vert having it impounded by the New York police because apparently he had parked it in the wrong place. Now, when I got the car, I only got 1 key with it and nothing else. I didn't get the speed key because it's still on a necklace for Lil Uzi Vert. I also didn't get the second key. However, I have recently acquired the second key. They're about $10,000 new from Bugatti. I had to pay a guy $2,000 who will say retained it after helping Floyd Mayweather with a deal. He also claims that he has the PDA. Veyron's came with, I think it's an HP iPack PDA that you would use to adjust certain things like tire pressures and stuff like that. I don't really know how it works. Obviously, I don't have an owner's manual to go with it, but I do have one hopefully on the way if he can find it. So hopefully he does. His name is Obi Okiki, and he goes by Dr. Bugatti on the internet. So feel free to follow him along. He also sent me some service records from the time when Mr. Mayweather owned it, including one for $152,000 while the car was still under warranty. So I'm gonna do more of like a breakdown of when and where the car went between all the celebrity owners in like a future video, but yeah. Now I have not been successful in getting my speed key back from Lil Uzi Vert. He still has it. I got in touch with his attorney, but she couldn't get in touch with him, so maybe not the most reliable human being on earth, but so I have not had that. But I did get this in the mail from one of our eagle-eyed viewers who saw the picture that I had posted of the speed key, and with a superpower that I didn't even know could possibly exist, recognized the cut pattern as one of several Volkswagen Audi Group keys, had one cut, and sent me a speed key. Now, Lamborghini Broward, Bugatti Broward is supposedly sending me a real one at some point, but it takes a while to order them, and they're $8,000. So now I have one that I don't have to worry about. So I can't tell if it works yet. It does turn the cylinder, but it makes a beep, and I can't tell if that's positive or negative because I don't know. I don't have an owner's manual, so I'm still figuring all this stuff out. But be sure to follow AMG_widebody on Instagram to thank him for unlocking the speed potential of my Veyron. Now, if I had bought this car brand new, Bugatti would have sent me a perfect replica scale model of my car. Of course, I did not get that. I have seen a picture of it sitting on somebody's desk that owned it long, long ago, but that did not transact with the car. But KRM scale models decided to right that wrong and made me a perfect replica of my Veyron Grand Sport. Red over red with red wheels, exactly like the full size would. I think it is so, so cool. Obviously, I couldn't afford to have Bugatti remake me the perfect replica, and so this will more than do and be displayed proudly. Now, in other model car news, I found someone who made a model car about Hot Wheels size of my exact Bugatti. They made 4 different models, and one was based off my exact car. I think it's so, so cool. And so I bought all of them that I could. I'm gonna keep a couple of them, but I'll autograph the rest, and if you'd like to have one, they'll be in the VINwiki store. Now, I gotta say, I'm so happy that I wound up with a Grand Sport and the roof comes off. I was able to get a stand for it. This is actually the stand from an R129 Mercedes SL, and it fits it perfectly because, quite honestly, I never have the roof on. I haven't gotten caught in the rain yet, but the car has before, so everything seems great. They were able to detail it, the Glossic guy, so it looks a lot better, but this makes it so much easier than having to lay it down and worry that somebody's gonna step on it and things like that. Now, the roof is going to have to go back on soon because I've got some big road trips planned in the Bugatti. I'm taking it to the Hilton Head Concours d'Elegance October 31st through November 4th, and you can come out and see me there. Tyler Hoover's gonna be there, featured as their Velocity collector. Last year, I was their Velocity collector, and so I had several of the cars there. But I gotta say, it's gonna be a great drive in the car, at least I hope so. And next year at MODA Miami, this is a bit of a ways away, but I'm also gonna be taking the car to Miami at that point because they are having a Veyron class. So it'll be amongst other much nicer Veyrons. So come out to all those events, see us there, and try some VINwiki. Of course, the bane of Veyron ownership is the tires. And I have been struggling, to be quite honest, to figure out exactly what to do in terms of tires. The tires that are on my car are from 2017, and they're pretty well worn, and so I can't use all 1,000 horsepower because they would just spin off the road. But I have been looking into different options. Brand new tires, the Michelin Pax tires that were designed specifically for the Veyron, are $45,000 a set, and all of the ones that are in the US are nearly 3 years old already, so that wouldn't make an awful lot of sense, and I can't afford it. So I've been doing some experimentation, and I found these 2 front wheels. There's one up at Cameron's shop right now. This is the Machiavelli wheel that came out on the initial Veyron when it was released in 2005, 2006. And they've got some well-spent tires. They're very, very old. But the real challenge is how do we get them off? And so that experimentation process is about to begin because they are glued onto the wheel. They are also asymmetrical in terms of the rim diameter, and the rims are not like an even 19, 20, 21 inches. I think the fronts are like 19.7. It's ridiculous. And so I don't know exactly how it's gonna work, but we're gonna see what we can do and potentially explore some other ways Pax tires might be installed. There are also rumors that the factory is going to release next year a different wheel that will accommodate an off-the-shelf tire, which would be a total game changer. Even if you can't necessarily go 254 miles an hour on it, if you can go to a high-speed rated tire, it would make life so much better. So I'm excited to experiment there and hopefully end up with some tires that I can depend on at much higher speeds. So that is the latest with my Bugatti Veyron Grand Sport ownership experience. And honestly, it's all been going pretty well. I'm sure at some point there will be another update video of things gone terribly, terribly wrong, but that is not today. So I'm gonna go enjoy some more miles, and I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I also hope that you'll check out this month's VINwiki sponsor, Bridgestone Tires. Unfortunately, they don't make any that fit my Veyron, but I do love their products. I've had their Potenza range on several cars, and we're gonna do some experimentation with their Ascent all-terrain tires on one of the Sway Cayennes. And so be sure to check them out now. Click the link in the description below to thank them for their support of VINwiki, and thank you for watching.